Is he? Is she? Are they? For as long as there have been pop stars, there have been questions, whispers that turn into rumours, and rumours that turn into headlines. We see the speculation, we see the gossip. But what are we missing? What if the most important part of the story isn't the answer to the question, but the story of the person being asked? Today, we're going beyond the rumours to find the real human stories. The public's fascination with celebrity identity is nothing new. But in today's hyper-connected world, that fascination can become an intense pressure cooker. For pop stars who are still discovering who they are, the entire world is watching, demanding answers they might not even have for themselves yet. This isn't a video about outing people or demanding labels. It's about the opposite. It's about exploring the emotional cost of that public pressure. It's about understanding the courage it takes to live authentically, whether that means coming out, refusing a label, or simply asking for the space to figure it all out. We're going to look at 4 artists who have navigated these intense questions in the public eye and uncover the real story, the story of their journey. Case Study 1. Harry Styles. The power of ambiguity. Perhaps no modern pop star has faced more questions about his identity than Harry Styles. From the moment he stepped onto the solo stage, his refusal to conform to traditional masculine norms became a global conversation. The public narrative was one of confusion and demand. Tabloids and social media were filled with theories, treating his identity like a puzzle that needed to be solved. They called it queerbaiting or a marketing ploy. But the real story isn't about hiding something, it's about freedom.
Watermelon Sugar, which at this point is out, and everyone's kind of figured out what it's about. The joys of, mutually appreciated oral pleasure.
I guess the thing with like sex, it used to feel so much more taboo. Even just like coming into this record, I wanted to feel a little less like guarded with stuff. I wanted to feel a lot freer.
In interviews, Harry has been consistent. He doesn't see the point in labels that box people in. For him, the journey of self-expression, through his music, his fashion, his art, is more important than any single word. He's not avoiding a question, he's challenging the premise of the question itself. The emotional core of his story is one of liberation. He's creating a space for fans where they don't have to have it all figured out. When he waves a pride flag on stage, it's not a confession, it's a declaration of solidarity. He's communicating a powerful message. Your identity is your own journey. It doesn't have to be packaged and explained for public consumption. The real story of Harry Styles isn't about what he is or isn't. It's the story of a man who chose art over answers, and in doing so, gave millions of people permission to simply be themselves. Case Study 2. Shawn Mendes. The weight of expectation. While Harry Styles' story is about defying labels, Shawn Mendes' story is about the immense pressure and anxiety that comes from having a label forced upon you. For years, from the time he was a teenager, Shawn Mendes was hounded by these rumours. Every gesture, every interview, every photo was analysed. The public narrative treated his sexuality as a conspiracy to be uncovered. But the real story here is one of anxiety and the emotional damage this kind of speculation can cause a young person. He's spoken openly about how frustrating and hurtful this was.
In this day and age, people have the audacity to write online that I'm gay as if it were a bad thing. First of all, I'm not gay. Second of all, it shouldn't make a difference if I was or if I wasn't. The focus should be on the music, not my sexuality.
He described a constant need to be seen with women or to publicly address the rumours, not because he was hiding anything, but because he felt like he was in a no-win situation. If he ignored it, the rumours grew. If he addressed it, he was seen as defensive. The emotional weight of this was immense. He said that the speculation made him feel like he had to be the pinnacle of a straight man, creating a deep sense of anxiety. He also felt that the rumours were insensitive to his friends in the LGBT+ community who were on their own private journeys. The real story for Shawn Mendes is a cautionary tale. It shows the very real human cost of treating someone's identity like a piece of gossip. It's a story about the struggle of trying to be your authentic self when the world is projecting an identity onto you, and the courage it takes to finally say, "This is affecting me and it needs to stop." Case Study 3. Billie Eilish, the accidental coming out. Our next story is about the complexities of self-discovery in the spotlight, and what happens when your personal journey is revealed to the world before you're ready to tell it yourself. This is the story of Billie Eilish. For years, Billie, like Harry, existed in a space of ambiguity. Her focus was on her art, her music, and a presentation that defied categorization. But in a 2023 interview with Variety, she spoke about her attraction to women in a way she later described as casual and obvious.
Wasn't it obvious? Like, it's kind of been, I didn't realize people didn't know.
I've spent my life loving girls and being really worried that they hate me for some reason and wanting to impress them and whatever else. And I felt like one with the girls.
The world reacted instantly. Headlines everywhere declared, "Billie Eilish comes out." The public narrative was one of celebration, but it was also one of revelation, a major news story. But the real story is much more nuanced and personal. On the red carpet just a few weeks later, Billie confirmed she felt she had been, in a way, outed. The emotional core of her story is about agency, the right to tell your own story on your own terms. While she wasn't ashamed of what she said, the experience of having the world define a pivotal moment for her was jarring. She thought it was obvious, but the world treated it as breaking news. Her journey highlights a crucial point. Coming out is a deeply personal process. It's not an event for public consumption. The real story for Billie Eilish is one of navigating the strange space between privacy and a global platform, and of reclaiming her own narrative by reminding the world that she is a human being figuring things out just like the rest of us. Case Study 4. Lil Nas X, the defiance of unapologetic art. While some artists navigate the questions, our final artist chose to answer them with a cultural explosion. This is the story of how Lil Nas X didn't just join the conversation. He seized it, weaponized it, and redefined what it means to be a queer artist in the mainstream. The public narrative began with a simple fact. On the last day of Pride Month in 2019, while his crossover hit Old Town Road was the biggest song in the world, Lil Nas X came out as gay. It was an act of unprecedented courage. No artist had ever come out while holding the #1 spot. The immediate reaction was a mix of support and vitriolic, homophobic backlash. People questioned if his career was over, but they fundamentally misunderstood him. They saw his coming out as a potential vulnerability. He saw it as his ultimate power.
I am gay. I want to just live my entire life, especially, how I just got to where I'm at, and I'm also, I feel like, opening doors for more people not doing what I want to do.
The real story of Lil Nas X is one of masterful, defiant strategy. He has never been on the defensive. He took every hateful comment, every ounce of outrage, and used it as fuel for his art and his public persona. When critics clutched their pearls over the Montero video, where he gives Satan a lap dance, he didn't apologize. He sold Satan shoes that sold out in under a minute and explained the art's meaning, a reclamation of the hell that religious conservatives had condemned him to. The emotional core of his journey is transforming fear into unapologetic joy. He has spoken about praying as a teenager that his sexuality was just a phase. His art is a direct response to that terrified teen. It is loud, proud, and aimed directly at the systems that made him feel that way. He isn't just surviving the conversation, he is gleefully and brilliantly orchestrating it. His story is a masterclass in turning hate into cultural capital and proving that authenticity isn't just a personal truth. it can be a revolutionary act. More human than the headlines. 4 artists, 4 different journeys, but one common thread. Their identities are not puzzles to be solved. Harry Styles teaches us that authenticity doesn't require a label. Shawn Mendes' story shows us the real harm that speculation can cause. Billie Eilish's journey reminds us that a person's story is theirs to tell. And Lil Nas X reminds us that authenticity isn't always quiet. It can be a thunderclap of defiance, joy, and creative power. Beyond the rumours, there are real people navigating love, identity, and immense pressure. Their stories aren't about the answers they give to the public, but about the questions they ask themselves, the journeys they take, and the courage they find along the way. The real story is always, always more human than the headlines. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. The conversations around this topic are so important, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share them with respect and kindness in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to Mymusing for more deep dives into the emotional stories behind the spotlight. See you next time.